Hey, what's up? It's Tweakedbigfoot.
Hey, it's Schmicks, and you're listening to
The third floor. Here we
right.
are. We're talking about the big one.
Yes.
I already cut
It,
you off. We're a minute in and I cut you off already.
no, we're already just so excited because you can see what Nick is wearing. You can see what I'm wearing up here. There was a bit of news about PlayStation. So, Nick, fill us in, man.
I thought we were talking about Nintendo Direct, man.
Oh, Nintendo Direct. Oh,
Oh, no, here we
Metroid
are.
Prime 4? No,
Oh, never going to happen.
probably not.
Yeah, PlayStation had their huge conference. I didn't get a chance to watch it because I was at work. I'm going to call it PS Now. I don't actually know what it was. Could have been Days of Play. They always have some new title for it.
I don't even know what the Xbox one was called. I always forget it. But I'm like,
E-
oh yeah, Halo Infinite was at the Xbox thing.
Yeah,
So,
right?
whatever.
That's it. At the Halo conference, they had an
Yeah.
Xbox there.
Yeah.
Here we are. Before we get into it, dude, how you doing? I almost jumped right over that. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good.
Sick.
I kind of look like discount LEA today. I don't know if anyone notices like the headphones and the hat. That's I looked at myself and then I honestly pictured LEA. So that has me a little bit thrown off. Other than that, I'm doing really good. Got done work and
Nice.
I'm not even a PS5 guy. I'm more of an Xbox guy. But I'm more excited for the PS5 launch than I really am for the Xbox one because I'm not buying
Yep.
either off the start because there's no reason for me to buy
Nope.
an Xbox, but there seems to be way more reasons for a PlayStation. So with all
Oh,
that hype, Nick, how are you doing today, man?
I'm feeling good. Like I'm looking bleh, but I'm feeling pretty good. It's been a good long week for me, and yeah, I'm pretty excited. I had a good day today. Had some Red
Nice.
Robin for dinner. I love Red Robin.
I don't know what
And
Red Robin is, man.
oh, it's just like it's like a burger restaurant. It's kind of like if you went to like OJ's, but like Red Robin's geared towards like family stuff more, you know?
Oh, is that like the meme where the guy's like Red Robin?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yum. Yeah, dude.
yeah. Okay, then okay.
I had I'm going full vegetarian. Well, I'm going pescatarian, sorry. So I had a salmon patty with like pineapple. Oh, ooh,
Nice.
so good. That's not what we're here to talk about, though I could talk about that for hours.
That is interesting, though.
It was real good. So I'm rocking. I'm pretty good. But I got lots of PS news today, as do you. Got some opinions. It is PlayStation Day, as we said. So we're ready. Let's get right in on the price. There's a lot we can talk about, but we'll start with the price. So there's like the Xbox, there's two consoles. Oh,
Well, geez,
I
maybe
gotta
I'll turn it off
off
right now. This is amateur podcast hour right here.
I gotta turn mine off.
There we go. My laundry's done though, everybody. So
Oh, sick.
my socks are dry.
Pause. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I'll go put my clothes away.
Go do that's more important anyway. Just kidding. We love you guys. Thanks for watching.
Not as important as the price of the PS5. That actually
No.
really caught my attention because I actually, for some reason, I thought it was around the price of the Xbox, but it's even higher.
It's higher. It's about 30 to 50 higher. I don't feel like doing math. Like the Xbox, there's two editions. I think they're just calling them PS5 digital and PlayStation 5 and then PlayStation 5 digital edition. I believe the only difference is a disc drive. I haven't looked too close into that. Oh, it's right in front of me, but no, it's not. It's the same console, I believe, but with a disc drive.
And what's the price difference on that?
Yeah, so for the PS5, you are looking at $4.99 Canadian, and for the PS5 digital, you're looking at $4.99 Canadian, and for the PS5, I'm gonna call it the regular edition, you're looking at $6.29 Canadian before taxes. So you're probably looking more like $5.50 and $6.80 somewhere in there.
Okay, so what I probably did in my mind is I took the two prices I saw and I kind of smushed them in the middle. I guess that's what human minds do. We try to find middle ground. But the digital, so it's $130 more for a disk drive.
Yeah, right.
Like,
There's got to be
that's
some
a
weird
little
hard
much.
drive. There's got to be some
Yeah.
weird hard drive stuff to it, but like,
Yeah.
that's odd to me. I don't have the specs super in front of me. Like I have the specs for the PS5 in front of me, but I don't have them for anything else. So I'll have to look into that more. I didn't super look at my research tonight.
Well, with the digital version, at least now we're running on solid state drives compared to the previous console generation. Even with the Xbox X or Xbox One X that I have here, it's even though it's running in 4K, it's still taking information off of a hard disk drive. So we're always a little bit behind on that. So it's nice to see consoles are going to have a solid state drive to take stuff from if everything has to be digital. But then there is higher cost to having more room compared to just throwing a disk in there and having a ton of the gigabytes right on the disk.
Exactly. It's going to have to be different, right? On the note of SSDs, according to PlayStation Blog, the SSD in the PlayStation 5 is 825 gigs and 5.5 gigabytes of read bandwidth, raw bandwidth. So I don't know.
Say that again?
You're looking at 825 gigs solid state drive.
Yeah.
And there's 5.5 gigabytes of read, like raw bandwidth, which I'm assuming to me is that's the fastest transferring.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
So that's fast transferring. And system memory, you're looking at things that I don't understand. I'm not a technical guy, but it says GDDR6, 16 gigabytes, and 448 gigs of bandwidth for the system memory.
Yeah, because to compare, the Xbox One X has GDDR5. Okay. So it's just a better type of RAM, and it's not probably not too different in performance, just better in general, faster process time. And it's kind of fun looking at the Xbox One X statistics and even putting it up to PS5 and the Xbox Series X. And I like the progression that's going, because it's kind of like buying a medium grade PC at this point. It's not like a lower grade PC, but it's actually more like a mid grade PC. If I were to buy this, it would be better than my PC's got right now. Yeah,
which is crazy to think about. Your PC looks a little more sleek, I think. Like, this is skinny and it's got the looks to it, but the PC looks crispy, you know?
Yeah, definitely. We could do probably a whole episode about PC gaming and how it's just so different. But for me, I just bought a pre-built one. But next time I'm probably going to build mine, because there are things like the solid state drive, which is one of the big regrets I have. And to see that consoles are putting that in as what looks like to be a standard, I think that'll help out a lot with load times and trying to keep things consistent over each family of consoles. It's going to be tricky for like backwards compatibility if there's going to be something for whether it's Xbox or PlayStation. If you try to run a game backwards compatible and you're going to run the same games on an Xbox One or a PS4 and you're trying to push those load times up, it's going to be pretty tough compared to an SSD.
Yeah. By slotting that in there, I think they're just accelerating all of that. And they're really they are setting that industry standard where I think every console that comes out now will have to have an SSD in it.
Yeah. Except Nintendo. They'll probably find some weird thing around it. And
like, nope.
Honestly, I give Nintendo full credit for being so different and being able to innovate even when they lack the hardware that Microsoft and Sony have. So they just seem to innovate really well. But it seems like the console war right now, everybody was looking at it as a statistical, what's the hardware about? But the thing that really grabbed me is what Sony did. They actually said, here's a bunch of games that are going to be on launch. You don't have to wait for 2021 or some game that's still in development. They have a sick lineup. I didn't really look at it too carefully, but you said you did. So would you like to tell us a few of the games that are coming out for this sick system?
This is where I think Xbox is just doomed. This is like looking at these games. So I'm going to tell you the 5 games that are 5 games that are launching with the Xbox, and I'll get into the other confirmed stuff.
You mean 6 games with the PlayStation 5?
Oh, yeah. Shoot. Man, I'm in an Xbox brain.
No, it's all right.
The 5 games that are launching day 1 with the PlayStation are something called Astro's Playroom, which I can give you a quick rundown on it. Astro's Playroom is hiding in my... Here you go. It comes preloaded on the PS5, and it introduces players to the DualSense controller as they guide the Astrobot through world-based PS5. I think it's just like a tutorial video game. Yeah, it looks okay. I haven't watched the trailer for it. Doesn't really interest me. It's going to interest somebody. You got a game called Demon Souls. I gotta scrub and find that now. Demon Souls. It's a remake of the PS3 From Software adventure. Comes from a collaboration between Bluepoint and Japan Studio. It'll be a launch title.
So it's sick.
If it's coming from Software, you know it's gonna be hard as balls.
Yeah, like it's gonna be a dream for people that play Bloodborne or like the Dark Souls series. Like that's gonna be a big console seller for people that like RPG action games.
Especially because it's launching day 1. That's huge.
Like Xbox has nothing like that. They don't even have a Fable 4 to even compete with. So
they got nothing. They got nothing.
They got jacked. Dude.
Destiny looks better than the Xbox right now, and that's saying something. They at least have stuff coming.
At least it exists.
Yeah, it's got stuff coming for it. Yeesh.
Yeah.
Got to slot a Destiny reference into one of these episodes.
That's true.
At least one.
That should be a rule.
Yeah, got to fit it in somewhere. Next, you have Destruction All Stars, and that's coming from Lucid XD EV, the two companies. The game looks like it blends car and on-foot combat in a huge, vibrant arena. So that's pretty cool. I haven't watched these trailers, but
that's the one where the guy like gets out of the vehicle and kind of runs all funny.
Yeah,
like,
he's got
kind of
like weird armor on.
Yeah, because I remember seeing stuff like on the E3 launch, and it was kind of, or the E3 release, and they were showing like beta foot or alpha footage of them kind of running with gangly arms. Like it kind of looked goofy, but it could be like a really, I don't know. Cool, it kind of looks like Rocket League, but a little more serious.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I'm looking at the trailer right now, just with the sound off. Yeah, it kind of looks like it's Twisted Metal meets Rocket League.
Yeah, Twisted Metal. That's a sick game.
That's a phenomenal game, and that's a PlayStation exclusive.
That's right.
Nothing confirmed yet on that though. Don't let me forget to talk about Rocket League at the end of our podcast. I got news on that too.
Rocket League?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got news for that at the end.
I'll write it down up here, dude.
Sick. Arguably the biggest day one launch you're getting is Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales. Now, for all those who played the first Spider-Man game, it was phenomenal. And it's sort of like a spiritual successor. I remember reading today, I don't believe it's a direct successor. It's like the next chapter. So it's going to be very close related. It's the next chapter in Insomniac's Spider-Man series, focusing on Miles Morales in a game. It's supposed to be like Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, and launches holiday 2020 with the PS4 version as well. So I will be picking that up. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that'll probably be the kind of game that'll be on the box. Like the good old days where you buy a console and the game would be on it, and it'd be like included with or digital purchase available with this console. That'd be like I could just see it already with the blue and the white, and then you have Spider-Man on the front.
Black Spider-Man too.
Yeah,
which is huge.
It's so sick. I didn't even play the first Spider-Man, but I remember you played lots of it, and
I played 100% of it actually.
And oh wow, 100%.
Yeah, I got every trophy except for one because I missed it in the story, and I 100% of the story.
Okay, so you're a grinder.
I like that.
I watched a bit on Twitch, and it's a sick game. Like I don't know,
it's phenomenal.
I don't know much about like all open world games are a little bit different, but this one just has that right kind of flavor where kind of similar to the PS2 game where it was just so nice and open world and so freeing and not too clustered with objectives, but just more of a fun experience to get out there and collect stuff. Yeah,
it's very open world. It reminds me a lot of the Spider-Man, I think Spider-Man 2 on the PlayStation, Spider-Man 3 on the PlayStation 2.
Yeah, that's
very like that, yeah. And it was a phenomenal game. I beat it, and my dad played it. Like, it was a popular game for a lot of ages, a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I think that's big for them to release.
Yeah, it's a good launch title.
Phenomenal. And this is kind of a cheat because there's 6 games, but the fifth and a half game is just the same game, but Ultimate Edition. So just like the Season Pass Edition. Mm-hmm. But it is launching day one. And then a surprise kind of game that I never played, but they've got Sackboy's A Big Adventure. So Sackboy, A Big Adventure, Sackboy's from Little Big Planet. And it's going to be a 3D platformer with deeply immersive and an expressive control scheme and an option to play solo or with friends. Coming to PS5 at launch as well as PS4. So I didn't play Little Big Planet. I never played it.
Yeah, it was kind of like in the PS3 era, it was really one of their big exclusives that wasn't really that big. It was kind of a weird pseudo exclusive that some people really enjoyed, but for the most part, it was kind of like, it was like Ratchet and Clank. It was just, it existed. There was a hardcore fan base, but not everyone was into it.
Right. And my dad liked it. I didn't play it. I keep saying to my dad because he's the biggest PlayStation gamer I know. He primarily plays PlayStation.
Oh yeah.
So I didn't play it. He said it's okay. Before I get into the third-party games that are exclusive to PlayStation, do you want to talk about any of these at all, or should we move on?
I will point out that having a diverse launch, a bunch of different launch titles that are diverse like that is awesome. Because let's say you're grandma and grandpa and you're like, oh, what am I going to buy little Timmy? And you look, oh, there's what do you call it? Not Little Big Planet. Yeah, Sackboy. Or like, what's the game called though?
Sackboy Big Adventure.
Sackboy Big Adventure. Yeah. Oh, Sackboy Big Adventure. That looks like a nice game. So that's easy for them to go and buy, and it's clearly a kind of
right there.
It's clearly like a kid-friendly game that would go great with this new console. But then if you want to be hardcore and get Demon Souls, which is sick. Like I haven't even played the Bloodborne series, the Dark Souls series, but it looks gritty and a really a capturing RPG action game. There you go. And
throw it in there.
again, Xbox has none of that. And it's like, we've been talking about this for years about exclusives and how important it is to launch a title with exclusives. I figured the Xbox Series X would launch with like Gears 5, Halo Infinite. Like that was an obvious one, but I guess it wasn't
100%.
so obvious. A new Forza, like have not just another Horizon, but like Forza Motorsports 8.
Yep.
A Fable 4. Like if they had that, there'd be something to compete with. But like
100%.
you take all those away and you add Demon Souls and a new what was that one game you said?
The racing one? You're looking at I had it. Destruction All Stars.
Yeah, Destruction All Stars. So there's like gritty games like that, but then you also have these kind of like Little Big Planet style games and that first game you mentioned, stuff that is kid friendly.
Yeah. Astro's Playroom.
It's looking really bad for Xbox. So that's and I'm an Xbox fanboy. I just don't understand what they're doing, and Sony's gonna kick Xbox's ass. Like this generation is it's a sealed deal.
Oh, for sure. And here's the thing: like I don't care about Astro's Playroom, Sackboy's Big Adventure, even the Destruction All Stars. Those are cool, I guess. Like they're niche for somebody. I don't care about them. It's the fact that they have an exclusive. They have a game that is exclusive and it's launching, right? Like that's just big. Xbox doesn't have one off day one.
Xbox has no answer for Spider-Man.
No,
absolutely no answer for a game.
No answer for Spider-Man. There's nothing they can do to stop it.
The closest thing they have to an answer for that is a Halo game that's in the oven still.
Yeah,
we haven't even played a beta for the multiplayer. We've seen like 5 minutes of campaign footage, and that's what's supposed to compete with Spider-Man.
Good luck.
Get out of here, man.
Not happening.
Not a chance.
Well, those games are the 5 that are launching on Xbox. There's a longer list. I'll highlight some of them.
You mean PS5?
Sorry, I keep messing up. Those are the 5 games launching 5.5 on PS5 on day one. Here's some other games that are exclusive for PlayStation and confirmed to be coming out. Now, these are the ones that are made by Sony Studios, so it could be like Santa Monica or Guerrilla Games, like Studio Sony owns. The biggest one, I think, is God of War 5. I looked at my partner last night. And I was like, cool, whenever this game launches, we're buying a PlayStation. I'm serious. Like, if this game comes out in November 2021, I'm buying a PlayStation 5. It launches
You're on the hype train, bro.
I'm in. Like that game is big enough to make me buy a PlayStation 5.
And there's nothing that Xbox Series X has that could ever make you buy that console. So instead, you're going to go and shell out $629 for God of War 5 specifically, and now you have a PlayStation 5 just in general.
Yep.
That's how you sell a console.
Yep. And it'll probably, like, I'll get a few games on PlayStation like I always do. It'll probably be one of the 5 that I get. Like, I'll get Spider-Man, Miles Morales.
Yeah.
I'll wait to get that on PS5 probably. I'll get this. I will probably buy Horizon Forbidden West, which is the new Horizon Zero Dawn game. Yeah. How do you compete with that too? Come on, like
no Fable. There's no new IP that Xbox Studios has been working on. It. Yeah, there's nothing.
No. So God of War confirmed. Horizon Zero Dawn we knew about. So now it's Horizon Zero West. Gran Turismo 7. There's a new Ratchet and Clank. That's a game I'll buy because that hits home for me. I love Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, I mentioned it before, and I actually really like it. I played 1, 2, and 3, and like they're sick games, dude.
They're crispy. They're good, weird, good games.
Yeah.
So there's that new game. There's a game called Returnal, which is a new action game. That's all I have about it right now. And then you've got exclusive titles like Final Fantasy 16, something called Deathloop, Ghostwire Tokyo, Godfall, Project Athia, Hogwarts, and then there's these other ones that'll probably be on all consoles, but they were revealed at the PlayStation event, like Hogwarts, a Legacy, which looks unreal. It looks like Skyrim, but Harry Potter. New Devil May Cry, new Five Nights at Freddy's, another gameplay trailer for Lego Star Wars, Dragon Age behind the scenes. The next Dragon Age game, is coming out. A new game called Gotham Knights, like all this crazy stuff that it'll be on Xbox too, but it came out at the PlayStation event.
Yeah.
Like PlayStation, like get your stuff together.
You mean Xbox got their stuff together?
Yeah. What the heck is going on?
It's actually getting spooky, dude.
Weird, man.
It's probably like the fanboy in us of Xbox that is just battling. Like it's cognitive dissonance for me at least, where it's like, I love Halo, I love Xbox, but then I just hear you talking about these PS5 exclusives, which I'll have to end up watching the video eventually. But like, it is insane. I feel like we're going back to like the PS2 versus the original Xbox phase.
Yeah.
Where there were games that were on both, like Battlefront 2, for instance,
Mhm.
was on both.
Was on both.
But then it was like you could only play Ratchet and Clank on PS2. You could only play Combat Evolved on Xbox. Whereas now it's like they have everything. They have the Ratchet and Clank, the Gran Turismo, the Demon Souls, the Spider-Man, the God of War, the Devil May Cry, and then Xbox has a Halo game in the making, and a bunch of other games that are still in the oven. So it's just
big oven, bro.
Yeah, it feels like I'm back in like PS2 era, except there's no Xbox. It's just it's so one-sided.
I'm still like yes, the Xbox S looks great. The Xbox Series S and Series X look great. They look awesome. But I'm still waiting for Xbox to show up. You know, I feel like Xbox is that kid that got like the new basketball. It's really cool. It's super, super sweet. PlayStation is the older kid that got a nicer basketball. You know, they're both really cool. They're going to do cool things, but this kid's ball is going to bounce 10 times higher. It's got, better basketball grip. I don't know. The analogy's falling off the tracks, but
can I improve your analogy a little bit?
Hit it. Yeah.
It's like there's two kids. One's an Xbox kid and one's a PS5 kid. Mm-hmm. And the Xbox kid got a new basketball, and the basketball's sick. Like, it's the best basketball that's around. Yeah. It's one of the NCAA official balls, right? It's got a really good one. Now, the PlayStation kid, he actually bought a ball that's not quite as good as that, but it's just about there. Yeah. Like, it's as close as you can get to official. It's not a knockoff one. It's just a grade under that. They wouldn't use it in the NCAA, but it's so close to that. Mm-hmm. But he's really good with it. Like, he's a good basketball player. Yeah. The Xbox player has never really played basketball and isn't that good at the game. And that's what I see happening. So it's like, why do you need to have a console that's just slightly better in hardware, and it's got more teraflops and all this blah, blah, blah. It's slightly better than a PS5, but you have no freaking games to play on it.
Exactly.
Like, why have such a good... Yeah, are you going to play Skyrim and GTA 5? If you want to play that, that's great.
Right.
But if you're looking for new games, you're the kid with the really perfectly good basketball that's unbelievable, but you don't really know how to play the game. And Sony, if you're Sony, you're the kid with basketball that's just a little less good, but you have so much talent behind that, much you can do with it. Tons. And I just feel like I'd buy a Series X and I'd have no games to play, nothing to do with it other than play old games that I can play right now on my X. Whereas PS5, then I'm going to have access to that plethora of games you've already said. So it's just absurd. I don't understand.
It's gross. I feel like what PlayStation did was look at their console and like, okay, we could probably get the teraflops, we could get all this, but we're going to take that extra 10%, 20%, whatever it would be to put into that. Let's put it in games. Let's put it in games that are going to launch and they're going to be good. Like, because I can promise you right now, Horizon Zero West is going to be a 10 out of 10 game. God of War is going to be a 10 out of 10 game. Already Spider-Man, probably 10 out of 10. Like, it's going to be a slaughter. And I feel like we're dumping on Xbox a lot. Xbox is not the new Destiny. That's never going to happen. And, I'll eat my words. I'll eat my words in a year if Xbox comes out with these wild-ass games.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible that later on Xbox decides to start really investing in their third-party developers that they've bought out and they have rights to, like Rare, for instance. Like, why don't they put out a new Banjo-Kazooie game?
Please.
Like, can you imagine if that was on launch? You'd have something to compete with the Little Big Planet game you're talking about, Jackboy Adventures. Right there. Like, you would have something that you could compete with, but right now they just have a bunch of developers they're not really using to their full advantage. I don't understand.
Like, it's cool. Like, I think honestly playing Skyrim in 4K will be sick. That's going to be awesome. I'm not going to buy an Xbox for that. There's no game coming out.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, there's no game coming out on Xbox that makes me, like, if I was like, oh, what do I want to buy? Which console should I get? There's nothing coming out on Xbox that would make me buy an Xbox over a PlayStation. And I love Xbox.
And you know what? The dirty little secret is, if you want to play Skyrim in 4K and you want to play it at 120, if you want to play it at 200 FPS, play it on a PC. Go get a sick PC and do that. So it's like, if you're really waiting for that, you're waiting for something so specific. You're waiting for a console experience, 4K high frame rate on Xbox. Whereas if you are a diehard Skyrim lover, you're already on PC, you already have a sick rig, and you're playing it at those specs anyway. So it's really hard to see GTA 5 and Skyrim and those games we always are tired of. Well, they are really good games, but we're tired of seeing them get re-released time and time again. And it's just not enough for me to buy an X. There's absolutely no way.
So I think looking at this, like looking at the Xbox launch and the PlayStation launch combined, and separate. My brain's not working tonight.
You're good, dude.
I think that like PlayStation, we've been saying it for a long time now. PlayStation's going to have a better launch. Am I a market analyst or like a designer? No, I'm not. I'm a guy that likes to look at video games and spend a lot of money on them. But I don't know. As a gamer who plays a lot of games, and you could speak to this too, like we love Xbox. I will always love Xbox. It'll always be my console of choice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in fact, we're more biased towards Xbox. So you think we would be pushing that agenda further, but we're even having shit on Xbox a little bit because we have to be realistic. We're looking at the objective amount of launch games and launch titles versus a little bit of extra teraflops and a solid state drive that's worth a little bit more. Like really?
Yeah, like and literally, if there was things to push for Xbox, we would push them.
Yeah. But I tried to push Infinite. I was so excited. I was like, cool, I'll have,
here we go.
Probably December. And yeah, sorry, here I go again. Early December, cool. I'll probably buy the console if that's the case. But then they say, you know what, screw it. We're going to have to delay that game. And the trailer didn't look the way we wanted. So that's going to go back into the oven. And we'll microwave this Series X out. And it's like, it doesn't excite me. Whereas I would rather get hyped for you and get hyped for someone that's like, yeah, I want to play God of War 5. I want to grind that. I want to get into Spider-Man. And they're going to sell consoles so easily with that kind of stuff.
Well, 100%. 100%. And you know what? There's even a feature we didn't talk about. And I know both consoles are doing it, but backwards compatibility, man.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to play any game that you want, I believe, or most games. Well, what is playing on my... I got a trailer playing right now, and I don't like it.
UI,
bro. Whoa. I have like 15 trailers playing at the same time. That was not cool.
Just audible rape?
Literally, it was like, you know when the PlayStation trailers, it's like, ding.
Yeah.
My console was like a pin, or my headphones like a pinball machine. It was like, ding, 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 ding. I don't know what was happening in my computer, but...
Yikes, dude.
I closed out of my tabs here. I'll go back to them later. But
YouTube autoplay. It can play whatever.
Yeah, literally just jumps on there. Backwards compatibility. That's another big thing because like you're just gonna have more exclusives to play.
Yeah. Yeah, Xbox. Like backwards compatibility. I think Xbox they beat PS5 to the punch, but the problem is they did that halfway through a really crappy console generation. They did it through the Xbox One generation. And it brought some players back to Xbox, but I don't think it was worth it. I think it would have been better to just introduce, like going back in time. I know there's hindsight, it's way better. But if they were to go back in time and just introduce that backwards compatibility when they launched the Xbox One, don't say crap like that guy said when he was like, oh, if you want to play a game console that doesn't need to be connected to the internet, that's what Xbox 360 is for. Like that was the head of Microsoft Studios saying that, and I was like, "Are you kidding?" No, it was before Phil Spencer came. It was that other guy. I think Spencer's a beauty.
I think he is too.
He's said a few controversial things, but for the most part, he's pretty good.
Yeah, I think honestly, like without him, I think Xbox would be doomed.
Yeah, him and like Major Nelson. Yeah. So like those guys, like they're cool. They're cool faces of the console brand. But the guy before, and I can't even smear his name because I forget what his name is. But yeah, he said a statement like that. Like, if you want to go play something that's not on the internet, play Xbox 360. So in other words, if you want to play old games, if you want to play stuff without the internet, go play on Xbox 360. What a condescending thing to say. We want to play our old games on a new console. That's why they've done a good job now, halfway through this crappy generation, where I can play games from Xbox 360. I can even play games from Xbox, like the original Star Wars Battlefront 2. On the original Xbox. I can play it on my Xbox One X. So if PlayStation can harness that and you're able to play an old Final Fantasy game from PS3 or PS4 onto a PS5, killing it. It's gonna take that one edge that Microsoft has right now and balance it out and equal it. So there's not too many. You're running out of reasons to buy an Xbox. Is what the case is.
Literally, dude, if I wasn't an Xbox fan, like if I had been buying a brand new console, it wouldn't even be on my radar. I'd be like, eh.
Yeah.
Xbox, the only thing that seems killer about it is I play with my friends. That's it.
Yeah.
I play Xbox with friends. Like the only reason I'm not buying Call of Duty on my PlayStation is because I play Xbox with friends.
Yeah.
And
You're a good man.
Controller design.
You're a good man. Well,
yeah, so that's what we got for that.
So here's a question. Cold War comes out. Yep. Are you buying it on Xbox One and getting the deal where,
Platform.
yeah, are you doing that then?
I am, yeah. I am
In
because
anticipation of maybe getting an X someday?
yes, and that's the reason I'm doing it. Yes, I know it. I believe it transfers. No, it probably doesn't transfer between system to system, but yeah, I'm doing it. I'm doing that because I'm like, look, I'll pay $10 now, and then in 3 years, if I buy an X, okay, I still have like, I still have Cold War to play with my friends, just like you and I still play Black Ops 1 or Black Ops 4.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will pay the $10 extra, but like, yeah, I think it's a sick deal, and I will do it. Only I wish it was free. Should be free. But yeah, would you do it, or are you gonna do it?
Yes, I'm gonna get because I'm planning on getting the Series X because my hole is so dug deep into 343 Industries pockets that no matter how crappy Infinite is, I think
You
it'll be
have to
pretty
play
good.
it,
But let's say it sucks, I'm still gonna buy it. I'm gonna get a Series X.
and we'll make videos about it. How much it sucks.
So I may as well pay the $10 and await the future.
Yeah, I think even if you pay it and then never play it again, it's like, look, I'd rather pay $10 now than $80 later, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, and it's only $10. Like, let's say you buy 4 games that are gonna be better on the X. That's $40. So you haven't even spent the amount of like half of a full game.
Yeah.
So half of a full game instead of buying a bunch of games over again, if you really want to play them on the new console you get, pretty worth it.
Yeah, especially because I'm assuming that means your purchases are going to transfer. So if there's DLC or cosmetics and you buy them all, that means you're going to get all that on your new console. You're not rebuying it, right?
Yep.
So I mean, like, I think it's a win-win. I think you paid for it. It should be free. Like, it's free for Cyberpunk, which is a game no one's talking about right now.
But yeah, that's a good point. That's kind of a game that's kind of gone under the radar since E3 last year. It's kind of
one's talking about it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I have one thing to say. It might be a real hot take. It might be really controversial.
Hit me.
But I think there's only one reason. Like if I was somebody that didn't have either console, I was kind of a new gamer and I just wanted a console, and I looked between the two. There is only one singular reason I would buy the Xbox Series X, and it's not even about the hardware. Do you know what it is, Nick?
I'm going to assume it's going to be...
It has to do with a service that Xbox provides.
Game Pass.
Game Pass.
Game Pass.
Game Pass is the only singular reason that you should get an Xbox if you haven't decided between the two. Because between Xbox and PlayStation, the only reason would be so that you can pay whatever it is, like $14 a month, and have access to over hundreds of games.
Do you have it?
For Game Pass Ultimate. I don't have it because I'm the kind of gamer that just like hammers out one game and plays more of like esports games that you really pour time into. But if you're your average gamer and you want to try out a ton of games, Game Pass is a no-brainer. If you have a PC, definitely get Game Pass Ultimate because then you can have it all go cross-play cross-save onto your PC, and that kind of stuff is great. But that is like the only reason I could ever think to say get an Xbox over a PlayStation for overall enjoyment. For someone like me that's dedicated to Halo, you obviously know where I have to sit. I have to sit on an Xbox. That's where my little home is because that's what I chose. But if you're a gamer that's just, you love a variety of games, the only reason is because you could have a lower price point for a ton of different games through Game Pass. Because other than that, the exclusives on Sony just clobber.
It ain't worth it.
The silence is deafening on Xbox's side with exclusives. The only thing they have is a good service. That's it.
And it's interesting you talk about that because I actually saw it this morning. Because I'm the type of guy that's like, play one game for 10 hours. I'm like, okay, what's next? Let's move on. Like, I have so much DLC for games I need to play, and like other than that, so I think Game Pass for me is like I actually talked to my partner about this today because I was like, I want to get it because right now it's like $1 for the first month of Ultimate.
Yeah, they actually do that quite a bit too. They'll put different promos on, so you could even be like a solid like dedicated member, and you'll still get like 1 month that's randomly $1, which is sick.
Which is crazy. So I'm thinking I might at least try the Ultimate for a month and then cancel it, and then if I want to do it, I'll just get the regular because I don't have a PC that's going to play on it, so it's like $12. Yep. Because like I want to play Sea of Thieves, and then I want to switch to God of War, and then I would love to play some No Man's Sky, and things like that. Where it's like, okay, cool, you have this option. Like it's a killer service. It is literally Netflix for video games, and there's killer games. Like I know that Xbox is pledged to release any Microsoft like IP is going to be on Game Pass day one. It's like Gears 5, the day it launched, was on Game Pass. So if you pay $15 a month, you could play Gears of War for a whole month, and like I hate this game. I'm never playing it again. You should spend $70.
And then you hate
$80.
it on console, and you're like, man, this is so stupid. And you're like, oh, I'll try it on PC. And here you just
Could
love it
be
on
amazing.
PC,
Yeah.
and it's the same save file. You can bring it through the cloud onto your PC. So that service, it's such a good price point.
Oh,
And
amazing.
if Sony ever creates any kind of service like that, like where you could play an old Final Fantasy game or an old like an original Ratchet and Clank, like one, or Going Commando, like the first couple, but then still be able to play a somewhat new PlayStation exclusive that comes out on some kind of PlayStation Game Pass service, then there would be the last reason, kind of the last stronghold that Xbox has. Then now would be gone too.
Well,
so that's the one little straw that Xbox has right now, in my opinion.
well, I actually probably should have interrupted you because they do have that. It exists.
Really?
Yeah, it's called PS Now. PS Now is PlayStation Now is a cloud gaming subscription service developed by Sony Interactive Entertainment that allows members to stream PS2, 3, and 4 games on PlayStation 4 and PC. It's just not pushed as much.
But it's streamed though, right?
No, but PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 4 games can be downloaded to play locally on PlayStation 4.
Oh, okay.
So
I was wondering if it was like one of those ones where you like have to have really good internet, otherwise there's like that
it kind of is. Delay. I know that it kind of is. PS2, so you can stream PS2, 3, 4, and Now games can be streamed to PlayStation PC. 800 available games, 300 to download. So it's not bad.
If they improve that system, good night Xbox.
It's not pushed as much, but yeah.
If that brand grows though, like I thought it was more like kind of like Xbox Live Gold, where you'd have like different games each month, but you're saying you could choose from like a library. And
yeah.
Oh,
okay. And then PS Plus is like the Xbox Live version. You need that to play on PlayStation. And that gives you new games every month. But like I'm looking at the thumbnail here, dude. There's like Red Faction, the original God of War, Dirt. I think the original Ratchet and Clanks are in here. Like old Lego games you can't get anywhere else. You know, like crazy games that are on here. Older games too. Like I think the original Sly Cooper's on there.
Well, if that is the case, like I was ignorant of this, but like that, if that gets fleshed out more and they actually have it to be as successful as Game Pass, I think that's GG's in the chat for Xbox, man.
Yeah,
they're running out of reasons at that point. Then
I think like Xbox will always exist. It won't. I don't think it'll ever die, but I think it's again safe to say of my middle market research that Xbox or that PlayStation has finally come out on top, and they will continue to be on top unless something major happens.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think they can lose. Like I think they won the 360 generation between that and PS3. They won that generation. They colossally lost the Xbox One generation, and they are probably, like most likely, going to lose this console generation.
Yeah.
But the reason they can stay afloat is because it's Microsoft. It's Bill Gates and the boys. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry that is backed by a multi-billion-dollar software company. So they can deal with these kinds of issues financially. It just sucks for consumers because pouring your heart and soul into PC all the time and then having an Xbox and it's cross-platform and then seeing no exclusives come out for it. You're right, it won't die. It's not like Xbox is going anywhere, but it's just sad to see it keep losing generation after generation.
Yeah, it's kind of like being a Toronto fan, you know, like Toronto Maple Leafs. It's kind of like
be there.
They're gonna be there, but like they're not good, and they'll do good sometimes. But here's a quick list of Xbox Series S games according to. And these are according to Eurogamer, and these are exclusives and some not exclusives. So exclusives, you got Halo Infinite, we know about that. Fable, we know about that. I didn't play State of Decay, but that's coming out. Forza, a game called Everwild, Avo Wed, As Dusk Falls, Psychonauts, Tetris, The Gunk, The Medium, Warhammer, Crossfire X. I'm bringing all these games up because I'm putting it out there that have you heard of any of these? Besides like Halo.
Yeah, like the Forza game looks sick. All they had was really a trailer for their launch, but looks sick. They have the new Fable. They had a really short trailer that was not gameplay at all. You mentioned Warhammer. You mentioned the Medium. So there are games that exist, but sadly they're all in the oven.
Yep, and like none of them look like they could be the same quality. I mean, some are going to be great. You know, they're going to be great. But, like,
There's no Spider-Mans in there.
There's no Spider-Man.
There's no God of Wars.
Bridge Constructor, The Walking Dead. Like, what is that?
It's sad because, like, okay, Halo Infinite, Fable 4, and Forza, those would compete with like Forza obviously competing with Gran Turismo, and Fable competing with games like RPG games like Demon's Souls. There is some competition there, but even still, there's a high chance Gran Turismo is better than Forza. And I'm a Forza fan personally, so that's saying something. There's a way higher chance that Fable 4 is kind of not a flop, but just not quite what people thought it was going to be, just like with Fable 3. It just wasn't quite what Fable 2 was. So then, of course, Demon's Souls, it's looking pretty good. And if people like the Bloodborne series, it's tough to compete with that. It's just not the same. It doesn't grab me. It doesn't grab you, I assume.
No. But Cold War. That's what I'm holding on to, dude.
It kind of shields me from the pain and suffering of watching Xbox go down the tubes for another console generation. I'll just focus on this cool game that'll come out soon. Yeah.
Or Frozen Until Dawn, whatever the new Destiny is. Those are the two things keeping me going. One for excitement, one for pure comic value. But
I think we'll try it out, the free version of it, right?
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
All the different gun patches and see like, oh, what did they take? It's more like, for us, it won't be about what got added. It'll be like, so what did they take away?
What did they take away besides everything?
So stupid.
No, I'm the one shitting all over it, but
no, it's facts. Yeah. Well, we had a really good time today, man. I hope I didn't rant too much about my thoughts. No. Thanks again, Nick. You always have information on research. Par. You got it all ready to go and have all those titles up. Any concluding thoughts you have on, like, okay, maybe this will be my concluding question for you. What should Xbox do right now? What's your suggestion?
Honestly, push the games they have. Push them and don't push them too hard. Like, Halo is already late. So if you're going to push it again to another month away, like another month later, do it. That game needs to come out flawless. You need to invest in good, solid games. Like, use your independent developers. Like, use Rare. Use I don't know any other ones that have that's Rare right now. There's lots. Use them to make good games. You need to make good games that are going to compete on the same level with Horizon Zero West or Horizon Forbidden West and God of War and Spider-Man. You need to push games that they're going to be good, that good, and you need to do it before it's too late.
Okay, I agree. So you're saying if things are already in the oven and they're taking a little longer to cook, make it the best damn pie you could possibly make. So that when it does come out, even if it's late, it's going to be hella good. Yeah. Okay. I think that's a good suggestion.
I agree with you. And before we go, it's not Xbox news, but it's cool news about Rocket League, which I think is
Rocket
really
League,
cool.
Yes.
I think it's very cool.
I would have forgot, man. My bad.
It just clicked into me as I was finishing up here. Rocket League's going free to play.
Free to play?
It's going free to play.
Oh. There's a game called Destiny that did that.
Yeah, but here's the thing with Rocket League going free to play. They actually deleted the cars. They put those all away. They're getting rid of them. The map is gone.
Yeah, dude. They're actually going to be sunsetting certain arena maps now.
Yeah, they're gone. There's no ball now either. We don't want anyone getting hurt.
That got sunsetted, dude. Holy crap.
For real,
that's sick, though. On consoles and PC and everything?
Yeah, free to play on the 23rd.
Cool.
Of September, which I'm actually going to download and play it.
Yeah, I'll try it out.
I'm going to download and play it. And
let's make a video about it.
Done.
Free to play Rocket League.
Yeah.
That's sick.
I think it's interesting. I think more games are going this way.
Yeah. I could see Infinite, I know that it's going to be campaign is going to cost something, but I could see in the future it just continuing that trend where games just become free to play for the most part, and then if you really want the full experience, you just buy the extra bits.
People spend so much money on microtransactions, man. Like, do it.
Yeah.
Like, Warzone is the biggest game right now, and it's people are hand over fist for microtransactions in that game.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it came out at a perfect time, right before the big COVID. So, it goes to show. Well, good for Rocket League. I think that's sick. I'll try it out.
I've played it once or twice, and that's it. I'm gonna watch this trailer once we're done here. And it's a bit of a shorter one for us, but I had a lot of fun talking about it. I think PlayStation is going to be all right.
Yeah, I had another topic in mind of talking about, but I had a feeling, even after I suggested it, that really. There's a lot to talk about because
Tons.
this console war is probably the biggest news we've had in the last four years or so.
Big time.
From both developers, both publishers of consoles, and to see Microsoft and Sony actually get some price points out. Xbox one week, and literally exactly the next week you have PlayStation doing it. So, and they're releasing around the same date, right? November
12th for PlayStation.
And then Xbox is like November
13th. COD's November 13th.
I think the Xbox is in the same week, isn't it?
I wouldn't be surprised if it's the same day. Xbox Series X launch dates. It is November 10th, so it's 2 days earlier.
There you go.
I'm actually a little surprised it didn't launch on the same day.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Well, it's kind of, it's interesting. It's like they released the pricing at the same time. The only thing they did really different is they had the Xbox, whatever you call it, all those releases. They showed all those previews in July compared to now with PlayStation doing theirs in September. So I think PlayStation's going to get way more hype going. And
I think,
like we said, it's going to be tough for the box, man.
Yeah, PlayStation honestly could have had the kill shot. If they pulled this stuff 5 months ago before Xbox released, it'd be done. Like there would be nothing to talk about for Xbox. Like, oh yeah, you delayed Fable, delayed COD, or delayed Halo. Like,
yeah, it would have pretty much been like, hey, come November, we're gonna have a bunch of awesome meals prepared for you so that you can feast. And then Xbox is like, hey,
here's a recipe.
You can buy our oven and watch everything cook in it, but you don't get to eat anything till next year. Yeah. Oh, okay.
I when it launches, I want to really look at the sales numbers as much as we can find them, and I want to talk about it because I think it's gonna be abysmal. Yeah,
I think it's gonna be like, I don't know if you remember, like when that guy dressed up as like an Xbox and the other guy dressed up as a PlayStation. They were like having a fight outside, kind of this put on thing, like back when Halo 3 came out. It's kind of like an old meme, but stuff like that, like it's, if they were to redo it now, it'd be like PlayStation is like The Rock, and Xbox is like, well, Bill Gates. He just got his crap beat in. Like it's gonna be, I think it will be abysmal. It'll be nasty to see those sales numbers.
Brutal. I'm trying to find right now.
Like projected sales.
The sales number that came out. I just want to know how much it's sold. Blah blah blah. Units sold. See sales section. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to find it in this short amount of time here.
That's right.
Oh wait. On January 6, 2014, just after it launched, 3 million had been sold in 2013. I think so. They only sold 3.3 million consoles in 2013. I think they're not going to hit that at all in a year. Not even close.
No, probably not.
No. But whatever. I'm no analyst. So.
But if you want to get the closest thing to a PC, get a Series X.
Get a Series X. Full price one. Get the whole thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, that's our podcast for today.
Yeah. And remember, if you want to pay $30 more and get a system with a bunch of stuff that actually has games, then you get a PS5.
It's a PlayStation. Also, remember to go and subscribe to Shmicksy on Twitch. He's about to become an affiliate. I'm going to sub. I'm going to be sub 1. I'm going to do it.
Dude, it would be an honor if you did.
Oh, me. I'm got it.
It's just that watch time, and I want to shout out Nick. He's been awesome. I've been texting me on time, be like, hey, like I'm streaming, and he'll lurk for me, and that actually helps a lot. So even if you guys don't want to like you go and chat and it's kind of awkward for you, don't like Twitch, that's fine. You can just lurk and hang out and hopefully watch me get a little bit better at Halo 5 and the Master Chief Collection. And I was talking to Nick before we started the podcast, and I said that I really enjoyed his episode 4, Detroit Become Human. Him and his partner do a really good job of making that game even more interesting. And I love games like that are mystery and kind of like just dark enough that you can grab these philosophical concepts of what it's like to be an android. It's a really interesting series, so go check it out. I'll have his channel in the description below. I got a new sub. I'm trying to get to 30 for the end of the year. I'm at 27, so I need to get 3 more in the next few months. Oh, you'll get there. Cold War, dude. We're gonna have content for days. I'm hoping to post an alpha video this weekend. We'll see what happens. Nice. Anyway, well, thanks for watching, you guys. Really appreciate you guys checking it out, and make sure to sub to the channel. Peace.